Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're actually doing more Kingdom Cup battles, and this is going to be my finalized team, just using this team because I want to try things out again with it. I'm really liking this team so far. If I could change anything, it would probably be adding the ice shot onto Lapras over water gun, but unfortunately, I can't do that. Even if I was able to trade for an ice shot variant of Lapras, I probably wouldn't, just because I wouldn't want to invest any more starters into a secondary move. But overall, I'm really happy with this team, really happy with its performance. It's been working out quite nicely. Anyway, we do have the Altaria against the Altaria. I'm going to go ahead and block that and get off a Sky Attack of our own. No, I shouldn't have used the Sky Attack, but I clicked on it by accident. You know how you click on it trying to get it before they can get it? But since he got it, mine already registered and I got it after his. So you guys know what I'm saying, right? So unfortunately, I used the Sky Attack there where I should have used it against his next Pokemon. I wouldn't really call that a mistake. I would just say that's just what happened because I wasn't fast enough to be able to click on it compared to his anyway. But anyway, guys, Lucario vs. Lucario, we do get off that Power Punch, and look at this. We lag, so he gets off several free shots and he's able to knock us out. Now, because I got the boost with Power Punch, we would have actually won that game, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. He actually messaged me after this game. He's like, I saw that you lagged towards the end. Couldn't do anything about it, so you got that game. But again, it doesn't really matter. It wasn't tournament or anything like that. But I'm just saying, he switches into Alolan Ninetales first, so I'm going to pull the switch into Bastiodon, and I'm going to take his ice attacks all day long because Bastiodon is such a beast. He's going to go ahead and activate yet another Ice Beam. We're going to take that, and look at this. I learned this from King IV, so shout out to you. So I decide to just take all the hits in the world. I stop attacking. Now, it may look like I'm lagging. I'm actually not lagging. I'm deliberately not attacking because I want to be able to switch out, because I know if I knock out his Alolan Ninetales, then he's going to bring in Lucario and completely wreck my face, right? He's going to destroy Bastiodon easily. So he probably thought I was lagging a little bit. That's why he stopped attacking, and that's the only problem I have with a strategy like this. It's definitely a good strategy. See, now I could switch, so now I'm attacking to knock out that Alolan Ninetales, so then I could switch immediately so he doesn't knock out my Bastiodon. So definitely a good strategy. So shout out to you, King IV. We'll link his channel in the description down below, so definitely go check him out. He's a really awesome player. He's definitely a much better player than I am, guys. But he thinks of these next level plays, so it's really cool. So yeah, the only problem, as I said, with a strategy like that is it's not a bad strategy, but your opponent might think you're lagging, so they might stop attacking, which I guess is technically on them if they do that. I don't really know, because you can see he kind of stopped attacking with his Alolan Ninetales a little bit and then continued. I don't know if he knew what I was doing. I told him after the battle, and he said, oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, King IV's strategy, link in the description. Go check him out. Go subscribe to him if you don't know him. You probably do know him, but for those that might not, the few that might not, definitely go check out his channel. He makes awesome Pokemon Go content. I love watching his live streams and his videos all the time. I've definitely learned a lot from him, so you definitely want to go check him out. He's a good friend of mine. So anyway, for this battle, using Charizard against Melmetal, we're going to go ahead and block that because Thunderbolt would absolutely destroy me. I do use Thunderclaw, kind of hoping he would block it, but I knew he wouldn't, but it did knock him out. Anyway, using Blast Spin against his Charizard, I figured that would do more than Dragon Claw because Blast Spin is just a powerful move. He knocks out my Charizard. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Altaria, so he gets off yet another move. Happens to be Dragon Claw, doing a good amount of damage to us, but we still hold on, so I'm looking pretty good at this point. He brings in Lucario, so we get off that Sky Attack. He's going to block it, of course, and I knew he would be able to get off a Power Punch before we got off a move, but it's actually Shadow Ball, so we got off Shadow Ball before we got off a move, before we got off Sky Attack, excuse me. So it's like, I thought it was going to be Power Punch, but no, he actually waits for the Shadow Ball, which is a good move because that does knock out Altaria, and but then we bring in Lucario and win, basically. So he begins with Bastiodon this time. I begin with Altaria. I knew I had to switch into Lucario, so his switch is coming. I'm like, oh no, here comes Charizard. It's actually Altaria, which is still not good for us, but yeah, doing the best that I can, trying to get off that Shadow Ball. I'm going to go ahead and block the Sky Attack, and we do get enough damage for the Shadow Ball, but I do go ahead and use Power Punch because I wanted to bluff the shield, and it works. So getting off another Power Punch, so just adding some more damage to it before we get knocked out. So yeah, bringing in Altaria this time, we're going to go ahead and eat that Sky Attack and knocking out his Altaria. Now, I was concerned at this point because I knew he had Bastiodon, and I knew Bastiodon is strong against Altaria, and it's strong against Charizard. You know, Blast Band does an okay amount of damage to Bastiodon, but it's still not enough. I mean, it would be enough, but we can't get it off before he completely destroys my Charizard because of that Smackdown. Fast move. Also, Stone Edge, although I know he doesn't have Stone Edge, all he has is Flamethrower. He didn't purchase a secondary move, but he's able to knock us out with just that Smackdown anyway. So, yeah, good game, good game. So, we're going to jump into another game, beginning with Lapras, and he begins with Altaria. Now, obviously, in this situation, the Ice Shot would be better, but he gets off his move. I'm going to charge up enough energy for Ice Beam, and we're going to go for the Surf, hoping that he would predict Ice Beam, which is exactly what happens. He predicts that, so good for us. Now we're going to block this, and because I blocked, I'm going to go for the Ice Beam now, and because I blocked it, I was like, well, he's probably going to think I'm definitely going for the Ice Beam, and he would shield, but no, he actually doesn't shield, which I guess is good for us. We do go ahead and knock out that Altaria with that Ice Beam, bringing in Lucario, doing a lot of damage, activating Power Up Punch against Bastiodon. He's not going to block it because probably didn't have much for it. Now he brings in Lucario. We get off a Power Up Punch, and he's not going to block it. He did have a shield left, but I guess he realized he was going to lose anyway, so why block it? Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've done that too as well. So anyway, another fine game, so we're going to begin with yet another one, Altaria versus Lucario, and as I've mentioned before, it really comes down to whoever leads better. That's not guaranteed, that's definitely not always going to be the case, but I found out if you lead better, that's generally what happens. Yeah, but we do hit him in the face with a Dragon Pulse, so definitely good for us, he was probably predicting a Sky Attack, so he brings in Bastiodon, going to switch immediately into a Lucario, hitting him with Power Up Punch. He's going to go ahead and block that. He has the Flamethrower ready to go. I'm going to block that. I believe I would have survived that, but barely. So we're definitely going to go ahead and block that. So really good position at this point. He brings in Lucario, looking really nice. And he does forfeit up his last shield, getting off a Power Up Punch, which will knock us out. And yeah, we were in a really good position. However, we have a Bastiodon in the back, so you know, if he had a shield left to block that Sky Attack, he knocked out Altaria. He could actually have won that because Bastiodon wouldn't have done much. But yeah, switching opponents right now. I'll be beginning with another good friend of mine, and yeah, he always enters all the competitions as well. We begin with Altaria, he does begin with Lucario, and doing a good amount of damage, getting off this Sky Attack. Right now, he's going to go ahead and block it, as I thought he would, and he switches into Flygon. An interesting switch. I mean, Flygon's not terrible against Altaria, obviously, because that Dragon Claw charges up super fast, guys, so it's going to really hit Altaria quite nicely. I'm going to go ahead and give him my last shield. I was debating about it. I decided to at the last minute because Altaria was really helping us out. So a little bit scary because we did give up both shields, but that's okay. Doing a good amount of damage to Charizard. He also has no shields left, so that's why I felt comfortable using both of mine. But yeah, thinking a little bit, I'm like, definitely want to bring in that Bastiodon to knock him out, and he brings in Lucario, and yeah, really scary at this point because I knew he was going to get buffs from that Pokemon, so I switched into my own Lucario so I could do a lot of damage before he was able to charge up like more Power Up Punches and knock me out in one hit, because I didn't want him to knock out my Lucario in one hit with like a Power Up Punch or even a counter after getting so many buffs from Bastiodon, right? So it's like, one buff is enough. I definitely want to be able to knock him out just in time. So if I left Bastiodon into Feint, I may have lost that one. I'm not really too sure, but either way, beginning with Charizard this time, he begins with Altaria right now, and we're going to go ahead and use a Dragon Claw on him, doing a good amount of damage. I mean, nothing crazy, but it's decent. So thinking about it for a little bit, I'm like, I have to bring in that Lapras. I can't bring in Lucario against them. He's going to use Sky Attack. I do go ahead and block that. Getting off this Surf, I was wondering if he would think it was Ice Beam, and that's exactly what he thought. Although Surf probably... No, I don't think Surf would have knocked out at that range, but it would have come close. It would have still done a lot of damage. So we do knock out... Actually, no, he switches. I thought we knocked it out, but I think he switched. Yeah, he switches into like Lucario. We do knock it out. And we bring in our own Lucario, knocking out his Altaria, and he brings in Lapras. So that's definitely a good sign for us because fighting is going to be strong against Ice, and we're going to continue to get those boosts. Now, he's going to activate Surf. That wouldn't have KO'd, so we still would have won. But, you know, the shield definitely helped us out. So we do go ahead and take another win. So we're going to go ahead and jump into one more battle now. And this time beginning with Flygon, he begins with Kingdra. Now his Kingdra has Water Gun, instead of Dragon Pulse, so I guess that's good for us. But we charge up much faster than Kingdra, so we're gonna get multiple Dragon Claws off in a row, 2 of them off back to back before he can get his charge move. That's why, I mean, Kingdra I think is okay, but the problem is this form, I mean, it just doesn't charge as much as better dragons like Altaria and Flygon that I would go with. He actually switches just in time, so we activate a Dragon Claw, so unfortunate for us. I'm gonna go ahead and get off that Earthquake because I knew he didn't know if I had a secondary move on it, so I was hoping he thought that I didn't, and I was just going for Dragon Claw, but no, he actually blocks it, but that's okay, we do take a shield from him. He activates Earthquake, I'm going to go ahead and definitely block that, trying to knock him out before we have to use a charge move. Not going to happen, but at least he doesn't use an Earthquake. It's actually, what was that, a Heavy Slam? So good for us, and then we knock out Kingdra immediately, and we're going to go ahead and use Shadow Ball against his final Pokemon. Happens to be an Alolan Ninetales, and we get off a Power-Up Punch immediately. And yeah, so we're going to be able to knock him out, and that is going to be game, and that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.